the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Welcome to the Open Mic Broadcast Network and the Mike Prince Show. Of course, it is our mission to try to bring you some news you can use, and we are now about to talk some baseball with my man O.P. Olin Parker. How you doing this week, my brother?
I'm good, Mike. I'm good. Chopping the weeks down, man. We're in the last part of March.
The last part of March, man, and before you know it, even though it just got started, we'll be ready for baseball tournaments all throughout the country.
Absolutely.
You know, and we're going to do our weekly roundup of the SWAC baseball, man. What you got for us this week?
We got Prairie View Panthers. They had a good weekend. They went 3-0 against Alcorn. They won the first game 10-4. Looked like they won two games 16-3 twice. So looked like they headed in the right direction. There's a midweek game. There's no midweek game this week, and they take it on UAPB next week. TSU, they went 2-1 against UAPB. Their next opponent will be Southern at home. Grambling and Southern University played two 12-inning games 2 days in a row. Grambling won the first one 7-8. Grambling lost the second game 8-7. Then Grambling brought the best to SU, beating them 16-6 in 7 innings. Alcorn, like you said, they went 0-3. It's going to be a long year for those guys. On the east side, we had FAMU going 3-0. They beat Valley 3 games. Bethune-Cookman kind of shocked Alabama State. They beat them 2-1. Another shocker, Alabama A&M shocked Jackson at home. It went 1-2. So there we have it right now, Mike. What I could see, Jackson State and Alabama State, they battle against each other next week, and that's gonna loom big for both of those schools.
No doubt about it. You got that degree of separation that comes in, and it comes in pretty early. Now, these series are so critical, and the importance, at least to me, getting Friday game, that first game to set the tempo of the rest of the series. Now, in most strategies, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, guys go with their horse on that Friday and try to get that early edge. But I personally would go in reverse, man, and say my horse for Sunday.
There's two ways to look at it. Like you said, the first one, get your horse in there on Friday and try to salvage your win. Saturday, just your two guy go in and try to get a win. And then Sunday look like they're piecing it together. I would do something like you were saying. I would save my horse for Sunday, try to get a scout report on what the hitters have been doing the first 2 days, where I could have a little advantage with my horse going on Sunday. I'd piecemeal it on Saturday, and I pitch my two guy on Friday, let him go in there and battle those guys, and see what we can do.
Yes, sir. Now, we always talk about, the advantage or the purpose of a pitcher is to throw the batting off. And we know when we look at this game, it's a statistical game, one of the most statistical games of all the sports that are played. And the odds, for the most part, would be in the pitcher's favor, especially when they're facing the batter the first time around. And I've always thought, even if I don't have the horses that can throw 90-plus consistently for several innings, why not put together a pitching by committee approach? And that, when I say that, OP, I'm saying assign 3 or 4 guys to pitch you a couple of innings per game. That way you keep the advantage at your side and keep the batting timing off and keep yourself in the games with different looks and adjusting to different release points as a batter.
Mike, that's a very good point. And doing that, just what you mentioned, you have your pitchers fresh when they get into the tournament. If a guy keeps trying to give you 7 good innings every Friday, he's going to be worn out by the time he gets down to the tournament. And if a guy knows he's got 3 innings, he's just got to get 3 guys out 3 times, and that's 1 time to the lineup. That 3rd inning, he's going to let it all hang, just like he would in the 7th. So I definitely like just what you're saying, Mike.
Right, and I've always wondered, especially on our level. Let's be honest, we're not going to get the 90 plus consistently. We'll be fortunate to have one come through our system every 5-10 years. Okay, so especially when you're playing your midweek games, when you're playing the Power 5 programs like the Texas A&Ms, the LSUs, I already know I'm at a slight disadvantage. So why not throw them off as much as possible? I can remember a guy we played with by the name of Uri Hall, left-hander, didn't throw extremely hard, but man, the dude had a curveball out this world, and he could just keep batters off, especially when we played midweek. And it was like, why did not busting this dude? But it is so important that when you understand the art of pitching, and I keep going back to this OPIE because it's not how hard you throw, it's knowing how to throw when you need to throw strikes.
That's a good point, Mike. The key to pitching is getting guys out. I think guys work too hard to try to strike guys out, and that's where they mess up. If I can get you out on 1-2 pitches, I can last on the mound a long time. And you guys are going to get frustrated.
Right.
And now I got the umpire working with him because he knows within 1 to 3 pitches, you know, that batter's going to be running toward first. He's going to be out some kind of way or a base hit. But what if you got a base hit on the first pitch, and then we got a double play on the second pitch? That's 2 pitches, 2 outs. That's called
absolutely
durability on the mound.
No doubt. You know, and like I said, we like the strikeouts. It's a thrill of the game, but that wears that arm out because that pitch count goes up and up and up. And I've always had the philosophy, and once again, I'm not a manager. I've done some coaching in my days, but those days are behind me. I would get 3-4 guys. Look, man, you got a 60 pitch count. Wherever you are at 60 pitches, I'm pulling you, and we're gonna go it on. And if you do it, you know, hypothetically, that guy has roughly at least 1 round to get through the batting order. And by the time they get adjusted to him, boom, I'm pulling you, and here comes the next guy.
That works extremely well. I remember we was at Louisiana Tech. We played Northwestern, and we said we got 9 pitches to go and throw 1 inning. That's probably the fastest game I've ever been involved in my life. The hitters didn't get opportunity to adjust to our pitches because they knew they had to get 3 outs, and, man, those guys were dealing. I don't even think that game was 2 hours.
Wow. And that was before the pitch clock was ever even thought of, right?
Absolutely.
Well, look, man, we getting into the heart of things, and we try to talk some baseball tips and everything. We talk about how we would like to see a better performance midweek outside of conference, and we just addressed the pitching area. On the flip side of that, I like being aggressive at the plate, especially playing out of conference, because you're going to get, you know, your best pitch. You know, I know that's automatic. What take till you get a strike? I don't believe in that philosophy. If there's a pitch that you can drive the heck out that thing when the opportunity presents itself.
Man, I'm a firm believer of when you get in the batter's box, you're ready to hit. I remember coaching a kid, and he used to always take the first pitch. And so I told him, I said, let's think of something. 2 strikes you out, 4 balls a walk. He said, that ain't fair. I said, well, if you get up and take the first pitch every time, that's what you're limiting yourself to. It made sense. I'm like, you get 3 opportunities for strikes to hit. Why not take advantage of all 3? He said, well, I like to shoot the pitcher guys. I said, you do that when he's on the mound warming up. You don't do it when you get the puck. So a strategy there's a time to take a pitch. You know, if it's first 2 guys get out on 2 swings, yeah, you got to take a pitch. You don't want a 3-pitch at bat. Or you guys, the pitch is kind of struggling. Everybody's going to take till they get a strike. I get that, but that's not going to be early in the game. That's going to be late.
Right. Right. And so the philosophy that I was taught that everyone has a strike. The pitcher has a strike, the umpire has a strike, and that batter has a strike. And when you see your strike, you better take advantage of it, because you know, if you got a pitcher who can work the corners, and then the mentality of the umpire, he's ready to go. Look, so I tell you what, when I see mine, baby, I'm going to drive it as hard as I can while I can. And it just makes, as you say, for a faster game and a more aggressive game. But we talked about how the pitching clock has definitely speed up the game, and we're seeing a lot of productivity from runs being scored now early in the season.
Absolutely. I had the opportunity on Friday night, I think it was. I watched a little bit of LSU and Texas A&M, and I don't know, man. I wouldn't want to face LSU Friday night guy right now. This guy was 9, and he went 7 innings, so that pitch clock didn't help A&M because he got the ball back, was ready to fire one in there, and I tell you what, that staff they got is dangerous. All the guys was 94 to 100, and so A&M went to the bullpen. They brought in a relief guy. He was 91, 92, and they're like, this ain't fair. So,
yeah, it's something, man. A&M, I kind of listened to some of that game as well. They're struggling right now, but you're not going to hear me complaining about that. So we'll move on off that page right there. Look, man, it's always great talking to you about SWAC baseball, but what's going on in your land of Baton Rouge, man, with your program?
So this weekend we had a 2-game set with East Central Community College. We lost the first game 8-7. We won the second game 10-run rule, 17-7. Today we'll be playing LSU Alexander's JV team. So on the weekend we got Bossier Parish. So that's the week of Baton Rouge Bears.
Yes, sir. Bossier used to have a stacked program, man, back in the day. Guys just bring that thunder, man. So good luck to you in your endeavors this weekend, my friend.
I appreciate you.
All right, look, man, I know you're about to throw out that Yahoo address, so go ahead and let folks know how they can get in contact with you.
I can be reached at OlinParker65 at yahoo.com.
Yahoo!
You're killing me, Small.
Man, I know it, brother. I know it, man, but it's all in love, man. All in love. He is the baseball guru for the Open Mic Broadcast Network, Olin Parker. We affectionately call him OP. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And don't forget to visit the website at OBNradio.com.